Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be trying to get through this boss rush challenge only using our 4-star champions. So we have selected Archangel, Void, OG Vision, Stark Spidey, and who was the last one? Dr. Octopus for Symbiote Supreme. So first fight is King Groot. It's nothing too tricky there, as mentioned before. He is like Limber and True Strike, but that doesn't really mean all that much. We're just going to be using Void and hopefully use some of that regen he has against him to kind of help us take him down quicker. Other than that, one kind of like thing to remind everybody is you can get hit by his level 1 on purpose if he has Fury buffs active, and that will place a permanent armor break on yourselves, and that, however, in conjunction with willpower, will help you maintain a very good healthy health bar throughout the entire fight. So even if you do make some sort of slip ups, you can just kind of like stall the fight and heal back up. And as you can see here, we did get taken down to like what, 70%, and we're back to 90. We're going to be going up to like 100, and we're going to pretty much be finishing this fight with a full yellow health bar, thanks to kindness of Rich the Man and his basically perma heal for entire fight. But yeah, so it's King Groot. Obviously using Void, you kind of want to time when to launch your debuffs. You don't want to launch your level 1s when he has Furies active. You want to wait for that regeneration phase. Other than that, it's like very simple, straightforward fight. There's literally nothing to worry about. Groot, very easy opponent in comparison to deal with. And yeah, we can see here 33 hits in, he's already at like 40% health, and he's going down fairly rapidly, even though he's a 23k opponent and our Void is 6k 4-star. Still, I did test this fight with a 3-star Void as well. Obviously there is nothing difficult with it, and you can do this one with a 3-star Void as well. It's not hard at all. And then we're gonna slowly be starting to talk about next fight. The next fight is Domino with permanent 1% regeneration on, and also Backblast node, which kind of can place incinerates on you if you're hitting hard enough. However, since we're using 4-star champions, we don't really need to worry about it, especially since we're gonna be using Void. And also basically you can't use tech champions against that Domino, or you're gonna have a lot of kind of like damage dealt to you at the beginning of the fight. But other than that, that Domino is unduped, so it's considerably easier to deal with her. Obviously, since she has regen on her and she is not debuff immune, she does not have any way to shrug off debuffs. Void will do it once again. It's not hard at all. Just take in Void, grab some of your debuffs. Now here I make a mistake and made this fight hard for myself, as I ate a full combo from her and left myself at 9% health. Now at this point I'm like, yeah, like probably shouldn't have done that. We'll have to re-record this run. But no, we're gonna stick it in there with our 9% health Void. We're gonna purposely kind of try and play a bit slow, hit her block a bit more, and try to make our debuffs do all the work. So this is gonna be one of those slightly clutch fights. We did make a massive mistake at the beginning, and since we're obviously using only a 4-star champion, that cost us pretty much all of our health bar. But yeah, at this point we can see the debuffs are starting to take away her health. I am hitting her block, trying to gain some space, trying to push her back, and now she is going down fairly rapidly. The main issue now is just to survive till the debuffs finish off this Domino. But once again, this Domino is nowhere close to as bad as she could have been, especially because, yeah, you can reverse that heal, and that actually can end up helping you to get this Domino down a lot easier than you would otherwise have to. But yeah, so 27%, we have Fear of the Void active, and she's gonna be done soon. Now there was a bit hairy situation. I had to evade fully her level 2 against the wall, which isn't too difficult, but it still can be tricky. Now, and that is the fight over. So second fight, nothing too difficult, 42 hits, Void takes her down. So next opponent is Quake, and Quake is completely immune to all the debuffs. She has aggression regeneration on her, and she also has Spite. However, in this case, that Spite is actually a fairly good thing. We're going to be using Stark SpiderMan for this fight, and we're just going to be starting to shamelessly build our poise charges. Unfortunately there she did throw a heavy attack, so I do need to get my level 1 fairly quickly if I don't want to risk being stunned. But the point of this fight is we can use Spite to our advantage, and we can make sure that basically because of Spite we don't need to find extra openings. What I mean by that is we're just going to use the power gain Spite gives Quake to push her past bars of power and then punish her special attacks. So once again, a fairly easy way to deal with this opponent. Just make Spite do all the work for us. Make sure she has like a level 1 available to her at most times, so we don't have to try and block bait heavy attacks or try and intercept too much. We can just have her throw the special attacks and then we can punish them. Now at this point she was being a bit stingy, so aggression regeneration did start to add up and start to heal her up, but it's not a big deal. We're at 9 poise charges, we still have plenty of health. Just don't mess up too much in this fight and we're going to be good basically. So now we're dropping a level 2. Once again, she is past bar of power, so I can just punish that level 1. And as we can see, she's going down fairly rapidly. There's nothing too tricky about this fight, and if anything, Spite is definitely helping us out to find easier openings. Very quick, very easy fight, 54 hits with 4-star SpiderMan. Now next fight is Invisible Woman, and I kind of forgot about the corners. I took in Archangel and OG Vision, I didn't really need them. They definitely were not the best picks, but I figured I'll just try in and see how bad that corner is with Archangel. And spoiler alert, this fight is not going to go my way at all whatsoever. So here we did land a parry and did tap her. Here we can see that 1 heavy attack gives her like a bar of power, and now we're going to repeat it. She's slightly past 2 bars of power, which I think I could manage still, but then we basically ate a combo that gave her a level 3, and now we end up dying pretty much immediately. So yeah, this attempt definitely did not go my way. We didn't do any damage to her whatsoever, and Archangel is out and down for the count. And now I noticed a life transfer on this Invisible Woman, so I figured I might as well try and do my best to kind of try and heal up the Void. Unfortunately, because of the force field at the beginning of the fight, I can't get any damage in, so life transfer takes my health away too fast. I was slightly too low. If I had a bit more health, I could have made it work. But then I have 3 champions left, and I figured it isn't overly difficult fight, especially because of life transfer. And I might as well just go in with Stark Spider-Man. Why not? I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen, right? And there we go. So Spider-Man, but because of all the debuffs Invisible Woman places on us, we are actually healing up from willpower a fair bit. Plus, once we get the force field down, we have a life transfer available to us, and that is kind of the main thing in this fight, just to make sure we can get that force field down. But first we need heal up, because our health is still dropping. So now we have gotten rid of the force field, we can actually deal some damage, and we are starting to heal up back to full health. Perfect. And yeah, now that the force field's gone, it is just a regular fight against Invisible Woman. We obviously do need to be careful when she is gonna go invisible again. But there is one thing I have forgotten to do in this fight. Can anybody tell me what it is? I wonder why I'm not hitting all that hard. Yes, that's right. I did forget to build up my poise charges. I will remember it shortly, and that's when I'm gonna start working on it. Because I'm gonna notice that this fight is kind of dragging on. I'm not doing too much of a damage. I'm not worried about my health and all that, but still, something is off. And I suppose I was a bit sleepy in the morning, but yeah, so as soon as I realize what has happened, I will start amping up my poise charges, and we're going to be able to close this fight out relatively quickly in comparison, because currently we're 58 hits in, and we have done only 30% damage, 40% damage, something like that. But yeah, so at this point, I obviously need to be careful, because Invisible Woman is invisible currently. Now we need to dodge that level 2, and Stark Spider-Man is actually quite good matchup because his auto weight helps you dodge those projectiles she throws at you, so that's quite easy to do there now. And yeah, so we did half of this fight already. She's at 54%, and I still didn't build up my poise charges. That's a bit of a fail. But we will start building up our poise charges relatively soon, and then we will be able to close this fight out much quicker than it would have otherwise went. So at this point I kind of realized that I do need some poise charges, which I started to build now. So we're up to 3, 4, not too bad. But yeah, you can clearly see that I am not using Star Spider-Man all that often, if I can forget about something like that. But anyways, so we're rectifying our mistake. We're up to 9 poise charges. Just got rid of the force field. She did go invisible, so we do need to wait it out. We're gonna get our last and 10th poise charge on us. And now, as you can see, she's dropping incredibly fast in comparison to the first half of the fight. And yeah, so we're gonna drop our level 1 here, and that will finish her off. And not too bad. So Invisible Woman isn't like fairly straightforward fight. There's nothing overly difficult. And now about the fight, that's probably my least favorite fight design in here, just because this is like one of the fights that require like a very specific counter for most part. There are not all that many different answers to this guy, but we're going with Doc Ock this time. As we all know, Doc Ock is absolutely fantastic when it comes to dealing with opponents who gain a lot of power, and even though I'm not the most experienced Doc Ock user, things just happen and it all kind of works out. So our main goal here is to get him power locked and under a bar of power. Now, it might not always seem all that easy because of power reserve. It's very tricky to get him below bar of power, because you do need to have multiples of your power locks kind of like active, and how bait several of his either special 2s and then special 1s. But once we are going to get him below that 1 bar of power, we can basically just toss him in a corner and spam our heavy attacks till no tomorrow. So at this point here, he is at 1 bar of power. We just need to bait this one out. Now he is exactly at half bar of power, and our goal is just to land in heavy attack. And once we do that, we drop another level 3 for safe measure, just to extend the duration of that power lock. But afterwards, we're just going to be spamming our own heavy attack with him in the corner, because why not? It's super easy, very effective, no trouble at all. And yeah, there's not much he can do about it. As you can see, his power bar is not like moving at all at this point. I could be dropping my level 3s as well if I wanted to, but I didn't see too much point in it. We have this fight well under control, and we completely shredded the latter half of this fight. And after this, there's only one fight left, and that's a Taskmaster. And Taskmaster is like very simple. He has Icarus node on, so you can pretty much use any champion, and so long as you can stay aggressive, it's going to be very easy to deal with. So here we claim the unofficial title, because I didn't have that one yet. And yeah, so I'm gonna go in with Vision, because why not? And this is probably gonna be the hardest we're ever gonna see 4-star Vision hit, because 4-star Vision can't access Icarus nodes in Act 6, but here at least we can see that Vision can actually throw a punch in this matchup. But yeah, that will be me more or less done for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit the share button, hit all the buttons, and I will catch you guys soon with my next video. Possibly we're going to be attempting to do this thing with 3-star champions next. See ya.